and welcome to those of you who are watching this live, and also hello and welcome to those who may be watching or even listening to the replay. My name is Nathan Arthur. I'm the founder and CEO of Plumbing and HVAC Marketing Ninjas. I'm the presenter for today for the webinar Google Reviews for Plumbing and HVAC Companies. As we go through the webinar, you may have some questions that pop in your mind. If you'll just kind of jot those down and save them for the end, we'll have a question time towards the end, and I'll give you some instructions on how to post that question through the chat there. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. Hopefully you like stats, because we're going to go over a lot of them today. So you probably jumped on because you are with a plumbing and HVAC company, whether you're an owner or you work for one, and you need some assistance with your Google reviews. Well, you've definitely come to the right place. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, and if you brought your notepad or if you're on a laptop or something, want to jot it down on Word or some notes, feel free. All right, so what we're going to cover today, we're going to go over Google reviews, how it's the currency of digital trust, why Google reviews are digital gold for plumbing and HVAC companies like yourself, the dollar impact of a Google review. We're going to cover some best practices, how to get more reviews, and then a little bonus at the end, how to get rid of some bad reviews. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump in. First of all, hopefully you know what a Google review is. Hopefully this isn't news to you. Google review is simply a place where people can review about what you do in your business. So whether that be you're a plumber or an HVAC, it's just simply the work that you perform. And even if they're not a customer of yours yet, they can leave a review. So if they had an experience through getting a quote or whatever that looks like, they can leave a review for your company. And the crazy part is everyone can see them. It's public. So you definitely want to take that into consideration at every level of your company, from whoever answers the phone to whoever's out at the house or the business that's doing the services. So let's keep on going here. All right, so getting into the currency of digital trust. So I talked about stats earlier. Online reviews are the new word of mouth marketing. It's been that way for a few years now. 91% of people trust reviews as much as referrals. You've probably seen this happen, and you've probably even referred somebody and they didn't just take you at your word. They went ahead and Googled them, looked at the reviews. I've had that happen personally. I'm sure you have too. You almost feel offended by it, because it's like, hey, I just sent you my guy, right? They do good work. Well, we look them up online and they had a couple bad reviews, so I don't know, we're kind of feeling iffy about it. So it's like, you gotta really take care of those reviews, which we'll get into. 86% of the people have used reviews to make buying decisions. That's huge. If somebody's going to do business with you, they're going to look at your reviews. That's just how it is. Reviews give transparency into what's actually going on. In plumbing and HVAC, since they require you to go into the home, that's a whole extra layer of trust that somebody has to have. It's not like you're going into a restaurant. You're not going. They're not coming to you. You're coming to them. So somebody entering your home or your business, you've really got to trust them ahead of time, and reviews are one way to earn their trust. All right, moving on. So people rely on the opinions of others, literally strangers. They rely on opinions of strangers to influence their buying decisions. So if you've got some reviews out there, hopefully you've got a lot of good reviews. Those are all strangers to potential customers. They don't know who those people are for the most part. They're like, Bob A left a review, had a good experience. They don't know who Bob A is. That's just and sometimes it's not even a person's name. It's like a character they like or something like that as their username that they left a review for. So they're reading these reviews and making their decision on who they're going to call. And the cool thing is that everyone's willing to try something new based on the reviews. So if you're a plumbing company or an HVAC company and you've got some good reviews, odds are somebody who wasn't referred will give you a shot through your marketing efforts that you've done with your reviews. 92% of buyers are more likely to purchase after reading a trusted review. Let's round that up to 100%. It's close enough, right? 31% of customers are more likely to spend more with businesses with excellent reviews. that is huge for your ROI, which we'll get into here in just a second. So online reviews create a direct line between you and your customers. They gain customers' honest feedback, and prospective employees also look at your Google reviews too. So you can spend all this money on recruiting, whether it be with us or with another company, and prospective employees come in and they look at your Google reviews and they're like, I'm not doing business with that company, or I'm not going to work for that company because the reviews are terrible. If you have bad reviews, this has got to be a top priority. So after you get off this webinar, if your reviews aren't where they need to be, you need to get on it right now, right after this webinar is over with. Jump on it. Contact us or work on it in your office, but you got to jump on it. All right, plumbing and HVAC companies rely heavily on word of mouth and marketing, but neither one of those do you any good if you've got bad reviews. Whenever we meet with a potential client, we look at their foundation, and part of that foundation includes your reviews, Google, Facebook, Yelp, some other platforms. If your reviews aren't where they need to be, your marketing efforts, your word of mouth, all that is wasted, because they're gonna land on your business. They're gonna see the negative reviews, and they're gonna go to the next company. So keep this in mind, this formula: word of mouth, we'll say good word of mouth, plus good marketing, plus good Google reviews equals a lot of money. That's what we're all here for, right? All right, why Google reviews are digital gold in terms of search rankings. So I don't know if you know this or not, but your reviews have a direct impact on your SEO. It's not massive, but it is something to take into consideration. So if you're wanting to be in the top 3 in the Google Map Pack, reviews can account for up to 13% of what gets you there. And then the search rankings, which is the part just below the Google Maps, accounts for 7%. So if you're not taking Google reviews seriously, like I said earlier, jump on it. Quantity, frequency, and diversity of your reviews makes a big difference. So you want to have something in place to constantly be getting more reviews coming in. All right, more stats. I know you're loving the stats, right? All right, so 4 out of 5 consumers are looking for plumbing and HVAC companies going online. 46% of all searches are seeking local businesses. 97% of them are learning more about your business through online. Most of that's through Google. And when they're doing that, they're also looking at your reviews. Like I said, it's important to have reviews, and not just reviews in general, but obviously good reviews. 88% of searches for local businesses are on a mobile device. So not only keeping in the review aspect at the front of your mind, you also want to have a mobile first mentality when you're looking at all your stuff online. Look at yourself on mobile and not just from a laptop or a desktop device. All right, so here's the bad part of it. Bad reviews have a huge impact on your business. 33% of that can come down. So 33% less than the average servicer or service provider is through bad reviews. 50% of consumers question the quality of a business that they have if they have negative reviews. So think about that. Half the people that are coming to your Google My Business listing, if you've got negative reviews, they're automatically going to the next guy. One negative review drives away 22% of prospective customers. I have clients all the time. They get a bad review and they're upset about it. Rightfully so. That one bad review, if it sits there at the top for too long, can have a huge negative impact on your business. We'll talk about that here in a little bit too. 57% of consumers will only consider a business if it is rated 4 stars or higher. This is huge. If you start dipping down into the 3s, heaven forbid 2s, you've got to jump on it. You've got to have something in place that's going to bump up those star ratings, which we'll get into as we move on here. All right, so the good news. Companies that respond to more than 20% of negative reviews have a 33%, they have 33% more revenue than the average person, or than the average company. 45% of consumers will still hire a company that responds to negative reviews. That's almost half. That's good. The first 5 reviews have the most impact on conversions, which we'll also get into. If you do get some bad reviews, you got to work on getting some more to push those further down. People are 270 times more likely to choose a provider with 5 reviews rather than no reviews. So if you're sitting at a goose egg, you got to get at least one, get on there as fast as you can. 50 plus reviews can increase calls and bookings by almost 5%. So if you're sitting in the 30s, 40s range, bump up to the 50s, and you're automatically going to get a boost in revenue for your business, which is awesome. Consumers are 31% more likely to choose a provider with positive reviews. So if you haven't gotten on board yet, it's all about getting more reviews, and not just more reviews, positive reviews, right? All right, we're going to cover some best practices here. All right, so when it comes to Google reviews, first and foremost, you never want to try to game the system. So if you've got somebody that left a legitimate bad review, like you screwed up, whether it be your tech screwed up, your front office screwed up, you screwed up, own it. Don't try to get it removed through Google. You can still try to get it removed, but contact the person directly. Have a chat with them. Find out what happened. See if you can solve it and get it resolved. See if you come to terms, you get them fixed up. See if they're willing or open to deleting that bad review, because it has direct dollar impact to your business. Because if you do try to game the system and get it removed, and that person finds out, they're just going to leave another bad review. So don't try to game the system. However, if it is a fake review or a false review, you got to go through the steps to report it, which we'll get into here in a little bit. Second thing is you want to actively monitor all your reviews. So whether it be you have a software in place where you're notified, or you definitely want to get the Google My Business app on your phone and turn on notifications. You're notified the instant a review comes in, good or bad, and you can respond to it right there from your phone. And you definitely want to respond to all reviews. It doesn't matter if it's a good review or a bad review, respond. Because remember, 45% of consumers will still hire you if you respond to negative reviews. And if you respond to 20% or more, which obviously that should be at 100%, you're going to have 33% more likelihood or more revenue than the average company as far as dollars concerned. Be proactive in requesting reviews. If you don't have a process in place of asking for reviews, get one in place. Never pay for Google reviews. If Google finds out about it, they could really slap your hand. They can remove reviews altogether. Several reviews that you've gotten, I wouldn't say fakely, but yeah, they're kind of considered fake if you're paying for them. But if Google finds out, they can remove a bunch of those that you've earned or paid for, rather. So just don't do it. Stay away from it. I have seen people do drawings, to try to incentivize. Even though that may technically be toting the line, I think it's fine. I know a lot of companies that do that. Gets people excited about it. It's hard to talk people into doing something when there's not really any reward for them. You would think that just doing a great job is reward enough for them to say, hey, let me go out of my way. But heaven forbid you screw something up a little bit, they're jumping around on it to leave a bad review. So maybe some type of incentive through a drawing or something to get them excited about it might be okay. Brand your Google My Business listing clearly so that you're not confused with another business that could be even similar. I've seen this happen on more than one occasion. Make sure it's distinctive, that it's your listing and not possibly a competitor's. All right, this is probably one of the reasons that you're here, if not for the bonus that I talked about at the beginning. So how to get Google reviews. We get asked this all the time if they're not on a plan that already has this included. So verify your business. You've got to verify it if you want the opportunity to respond to reviews and also get a special link. Remind every customer to leave a review while in person. This is important because this is one of the first lines of many. The whole thing, when you talk about branding, how you're consistent and you're in the forefront of their mind, this is step one. While the tech is there, remind them, hey, if you enjoyed my service, if you think we did a great job, go on Google and leave us a review. And you may even tell them right there, hey, we're going to be sending you out a text message to leave you a review. Or if you've got a QR code on your text business card or maybe on the back of their phone, try to get them to scan it right there on the spot. Share your URL from your Google Reviews dashboard, which we'll talk about here in a second. Add the Google Reviews link to your homepage. You can embed your Google Reviews on your website to kind of show off your number of reviews and your star rating on your website. You can add a Google Review call to action in the footer of your website. Try to get people that existing customers that go to your website to leave your review. All those things are super helpful. You want to do a Google Review text and email campaign for all your customers. So if you've got, whether it be some software that you like to use, or if you want to have somebody dedicated in the office to text them from their device, or if you have a company cell phone that you want to text directly, or if you want to just email it directly from your company email, all those are great. The main thing is to do it as soon as you possibly can. So if once you finish the job, try to get that sent out same day, next day, or the day after at the latest, if you can. Ask for reviews on social media. Go and post on your Facebook page, your Instagram, your Twitter. Ask your clients to leave you a review, your customers to leave you a review. Include the Google review link in your email signature. So that kind of helps remind people as the email goes on, oh yeah, they did do a good job for me. I'm gonna go ahead and leave them a review right now. So keep all those in mind for getting more Google reviews. All right, so if you don't already know how to do this, go ahead and go to your laptop right now and kind of follow along with me, or if you want to jot down some notes. Hopefully you have this link already, but if you don't, it's super simple. Just go to your Google My Business listing, and how to get there, you just log in google.com/business, click on Manage Now, or there's also a sign in at the top if you're not already signed in. And even if you already signed in, once you go to this page, it asks you again to sign in. So either way, click on Manage Now, sign in. Once you're there, it should default to the Home tab. If you've landed on another tab, just go ahead and click on Home at the top left. And then scroll down to the Get More Reviews section. If you don't have any reviews yet, it may say Get Your First Review, or Get More Reviews if you've got at least one. And then from there, there's going to be a little box that says Share Review Form. Just click on that, and then it's going to spit out a URL. You want to copy and paste this somewhere. That way you can create a QR code. You can save it to your email, so you can put in a link. You can text it out directly, like I said, or send out the emails. Either way, you want to have this link, because all it does is it shortcuts them to just go straight to be able to leave a review. There used to be a way where you can do an extra step to pre-fill in 5 stars. Google kind of combated that and basically said we're not going to allow that anymore. So right now those tricks don't seem to work, which is not really cheating the system. It's just kind of planting that seed. Hey, we did a good job, right? Just leave the 5 stars and start typing something. So, but anyway, it'll get them there a lot quicker than just saying, hey, go to my Google My Business listing or search for it. This is how they end up accidentally leaving a review for the wrong company. So this will take them right to where they need to go, straight to the review, to leave a review section on the Google My Business listing. All right, so here's some bonus information for you. So how to get rid of bad reviews. And it could be fake, it could be false, it could just be a flat out bad review. We're going to we're going to jump right into this part of it right here. So the first thing you want to do when you get any review that comes in, whether it be good or bad, is to go ahead and respond. If it's a bad review, you want to take added precaution to respond professionally. And I add that caveat because I've had clients that get heated when they get a bad review, and you're emotional in that moment, and you just want to spit out whatever at that moment. So just respond professionally with that. If it is a false or a bad review, go ahead and take the time to reach out to that person if you know who it is. So if they left you a bad review, or if what they wrote wasn't really what happened, go ahead and reach out to them and see if you can make amends, see if you can work it out. And if you can, work it out with them, and then politely ask them, can you please remove that bad review or consider changing your star rating if you feel like we did a good job. If it's just flat out false information, like they're just being crazy or they're just making stuff up, you want to go to the next section, which is reporting the review. So if you're on a browser, you'll go ahead and click on the three dots next to it's basically across from the name. Click on the three dots and click on Report Review. If you're on the Google My Business app, you'll click on the three dots and you'll click Flag as Inappropriate. And then from there, whether it be on your browser or your Google My Business app, you're going to select the appropriate response. There's a few different things to choose from there. One of them has nothing to do with this business. It could be spam. It could be sexually explicit content, or you might have to get legal involved, which we'll talk about here in a second. If Google does not remove the review after a few weeks, they're kind of backed up right now with some of the COVID stuff. So if they don't get to it in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you may go ahead and just reach out. If you don't feel like waiting anymore, you can go to support.google.com/business and select Contact Us, and just follow the steps on there. Tell them what happened, tell them why you think it needs to be removed, and wait for a response. And hopefully they'll just go ahead and take it off there. In the meantime, there's no need to wait to do this. Bury the review. Continue to get more reviews, good reviews coming in, so that just gets pushed on down, so it's less relevant. Like we talked about earlier, the first 5 reviews can really make or break you. So if you get a couple bad reviews come in, and then there's a lull where you don't get any reviews coming in, those are just sitting up there and just killing your business. Google My Business gets accessed a lot, and even if they land on your organic website first through the organic section, they're going to go back and find your reviews and they're going to read them. That's just how it is. If it's an emergency situation, like they got a water pipe busted, or toilets overflowing, or water heater busted, or their AC's out, or whatever the case may be, they might not spend quite as much time before they call, but they will go back and look at those and make that buying decision based upon those reviews. So it's super important. And last but not least, if it's a slander situation or false information type of situation, you may have to get your attorney involved to work on getting those removed. It's unfortunate when that happens. Some people are just crazy, and then there's also just other people out there that are absolute trolls. One of my clients actually reached out to me yesterday. Well, technically I reached out to him, but asked if we could respond on their behalf. And it was just a troll. Started out on Facebook, just trolling and being mean, and then they went on to the Google reviews and just left a crappy review. Never even spoken to the guy. Just flat out bashed his business, and it was uncalled for. So we went through all these steps here, and so that happens sometimes. Unfortunately, sometimes it happens a lot, and so you got to stay on top of it. All right, so I know we covered a lot of material in a short amount of time, so I'm sure some people may have some questions. Let me tell you how to ask a question through the webinar here. So if you're on a desktop or mobile, it doesn't really matter. I'm kind of reversed here, yeah. So in the top right corner, you're just going to click on the hamburger menu, and you click on feedback, and then you'll click on ask the question. And so I'll give you all a second to ask any questions that you might have, if you want to submit those. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Steve asks, what kind of software would you recommend for getting more reviews? So there's a ton of them out there, right? So you may have heard of like Bird Eye's pretty good, Podium, Swell. There's a bunch of different ones out there. My advice would be to jump on the free trial, check it out, see if it works for your business and you like the way it functions, and then roll with it. If you're a client of ours, our 3 main packages include review generation automatically, and so you would get some software already included if you were to do business with us. Let's see. I got a question from Chris. Can you elaborate when you mentioned to respond professionally to bad reviews? So respond professionally just simply means don't breathe down somebody's throat. Don't sink to their level in response to their review. So if somebody's bashing your business and they're spreading false information, or if they honestly just had a bad experience, just calm it down. If you need to take a second to gather your thoughts to respond, professionally just simply means don't sink to their level. Don't be mean in your response. So in the example where our client yesterday had somebody slandering their business, we basically respond something along the lines of, dear Mr. So-and-so, we've checked our records. We've never spoken to you. We don't know who you are. We pride ourselves in excellent customer service. Please reach out to us directly at this number. We would be more than happy to find out more information of what happened and get to the bottom of it, essentially. Something along those lines, just to let them know that you actually care, even if they're in the wrong or if it's fake or spam or whatever. And then once you've responded professionally, then you go through the steps to work on getting it removed if it falls into what we talked about before. All right, let's see. See any other questions come in. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward. I may have gone through it a little fast, so I apologize. But if you have any follow-up questions, if you're watching the replay, if you have any questions, I'll put up my contact info. You can call, email, you can jump on one of our social platforms to reach out. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. You can also schedule a quick discovery call. So if you're a plumbing company or HVAC company, whether you already have a marketing agency you're working with or not, we'd love just the opportunity to take a quick 10 to 15 minutes, jump on a discovery call, learn more about your business, tell you a little bit more about ours, and see if our vision aligns, and kind of go from there. If it's something that you'd want to learn more about after that discovery call, the next steps look like this. We would set up a longer call, where we do a marketing analysis. We take 1 to 2 hours and deep dive into how your business is aligned, and we talk further about our packages and kind of go into detail and further see if we might be a good fit to work together. So hopefully that was good information. Like I said, if you have any questions that you think of later, feel free to reach out and we will get them answered for you. Thanks, and take care.